Hey guys, so I was doing some YouTubing yesterday and I saw that Matt Pratt, my buddy who gave me all these parts, posted a new video, and in the description it said that I might not know it, but he's racing me to see who gets their car painted first. So I guess I'm gonna speed up the timeline and we're gonna start working. Let me show you where the car's at right now. So the car is ready for another round of primer. We're gonna spray here in a little bit, do some masking and all that stuff. And I'm not gonna paint the hood yet. I'm not gonna paint the engine bay yet. I just wanna get the body done. Once I get the body in primer, then I block sand it all. And then once the body's done, that's when I'll do the engine bay and then start repairs on the hood. I just wanna get the body kind of shot for right now, and then we can press forward. Side skirt fitment's looking good. Everything else is looking all right. So we're gonna start doing some priming, and then I'll pick the video up after, because with me being in this small garage, if I paint this whole thing, if I prime this whole thing, after a few minutes, you're not gonna be able to see it on camera because it just fills up this whole garage with overspray. So I'll pick it back up once that's done, and then yeah, once it's all ready, and then we block sand everything, then I think next weekend or maybe the weekend after, we're gonna be cleaning. So if you guys are painters, then you know that cleanliness is key. So once the car's in primer and it's already block sanded, then I'm gonna be taking everything out of the garage and everything's getting cleaned off. And then it's all gonna go, outside. And then we're gonna put plastic all along the ceiling, just around the car. And we'll make like a makeshift paint booth. Once everything's plastic wrapped, we still gotta clean the inside. So we'll blow all that stuff down, mask everything up, and then do, our final wash and all that stuff. So as the car sits right now, it's final washed. So it's ready to spray. Blow it off, tack it. Don't touch it right now with the oils on your hands because it'll mess up the paint. So yeah, I'm gonna start spraying some primer and then we'll pick back up. All right guys, so car's in primer. Like I said, I didn't do the hood, but everything else is done. Body repairs are looking pretty good. Let me show you some mistakes that kind of showed up. So it's kind of hard to get on camera, but there are some, you can kind of see it right there. That's where the fiberglass that we had on there, it's kind of reacting with this primer. So hopefully once I block sand it and clean it all up, we won't have an issue with that anymore. But yeah, everything else is done and looking good. Back bumper came out nice. This is like a last minute repair that I had to do, but since that rear spat's gonna cover it, it doesn't have to be super smooth. I can just grind that down to where it's kind of smooth and then you won't see it. But yeah, you can see kind of where that reaction is from that fiberglass, that resin that I put on. But everything else is looking all right. Just small areas that we're gonna have to block sand, which, we knew. That's what this high build primer's for. It's to find all the spots that we gotta fix still. So we still got a little bit of work, but not too much. But yeah, it's looking good. I'm happy. It's good enough for now. Yeah, like I said, once we block sand everything, these little hard edges, those will all come right out. So, all right, let's get block sanding. so the quarter panel, the door, and the fender, and a little bit of the hatch are all done now. They're just block sanded with 120, and that's just that's gonna knock down a lot of it. I mean, if I sit here and do it with 320, it's just gonna take too long. But you can see we burnt through a few spots. Nothing too bad. Before we go ahead and seal, we'll take a small touch-up gun and we'll just put primer back on these areas because we don't want any spots. So let's flip the camera around and I'll show you guys kind of some stuff. All right, so you can see we had to, where that fiberglass resin was kind of reacting, we got that smoothed out now. So I don't know if it was the fiberglass resin reacting or if it was just, I thought that it was flush and then it wasn't or something. I don't know. But either way, it's smooth. And then, like I said, we'll do like a touch-up gun and put primer back on those areas and make sure we don't have a reaction and make sure that it's all smooth. And then block sand the touch-up areas one more time. But everything's looking good. Some bare metal back here, and that's not really a high spot. I think it's just the way this is contoured. It's kind of hard to sand and get the block sander around that and stuff. So I'll have to maybe think of a better way to do that. Hatch came out pretty good, but there is a spot right here. So you can kind of see this little ring around this repair. So you can run your hand across it and feel that it dips down, comes back. So we'll have to do a little bit of repair on that. Door, didn't really see anything wrong with the door. Oh, no, I did. Right there. So there's a small dent. It looks like somebody dinged it up there. So, but the rest of the door looks good. The repairs that we did up there, they look good. There is one small low spot right there. So we'll mark that and we'll mentally mark it because I don't want to draw on this. I don't want anything reacting to anything. So I'll probably go back through and watch all these videos later to remember where all these low spots are. But other than this dent, nothing really pressing that I found. So when you're block sanding, especially a line like this, you don't want to go down the whole panel. You want to come to the body line. So you come and you meet the body line, and then when you're coming, you meet it back the other way. And that's gonna make sure that your edge is a little bit more refined because you don't want to dull it out. Because with this filler, this primer being so thick, you can actually run the risk of making this look square, and you'll square off the edge of it. You don't want to do that. So you'll just take your Scotch-Brite pad once you come up to the line, and you'll kind of round it out. You don't want it to look too square. We do have one low spot here, and this is just from that blending area. So there's one there also, or no, yeah, slightly there, and then right down there. And then we got to fix all these little things, these little dingy dings. Small stuff, small little pinholes. So we'll just take that, what's that crap called? The little filler putty, and we'll just go over that finishing glaze. We'll do that. Fender didn't have any issues. So the fender's looking good to me. I like it. One thing that you can do is a wet check. So I'm gonna do that here in a second. I'll probably set the phone up and show you guys kind of what that looks like. But you take wax and tar remover, or you take some sort of solvent that's not gonna react with any of this. You don't wanna use like water or anything like that, but some sort of liquid, and you put it over the car. And that's gonna kind of pretend to be a clear coat. So you'll be able to see if there's any waviness, or it'll also show you, if you got any real deep low spots or real deep high spots. And so we're gonna do that, and we're just gonna double check to make sure that everything looks good, and it'll kind of give me an idea of what the body line is gonna look like. So let's do that now. All right, so it's kind of hard to see on camera, but you can get an idea of kind of how straight your panel is. It just gives the illusion of, like a clear coat. So you can kind of if I can get this thing in the light just right, but you can kind of see how smooth everything is gonna be. You know, your fender and all that. You can check, make sure that you're getting good reflection. And it just does not show up on this camera. But for me, it's looking nice and glossy. But yeah, we got a few issues to fix. Nothing too major. So we're gonna do our touch-ups everywhere that we need. Once this is primed, we're gonna be getting inside these door jambs and inside the door and the hatch, engine bay, all that stuff. We'll seal these, get some color on them. Those will be done. And then we can come back through and do our final wet sand of the entire body. So once this block sanding is done, I'm not gonna film it. You guys are probably getting bored to death of primer and block sanding and all that other crap. So I'm gonna fix the hood while you guys are away. I'm gonna probably not film in anything else until I start wet sanding and prepping for paint. So we're gonna spray, like I said, more primer onto this, seal, color, seal and color, and then seal and color. We'll do all our clear coats and everything. Knock off the overspray, because when you're painting, you're gonna get from here over to here. Knock off all our overspray, and then the whole body is, you know, ready. We're gonna wet sand all the way up to 500 grit, and then spray our sealer. So that's gonna be probably 2 weeks from now. You guys might not hear from me next week, just because I'm gonna be busy getting everything done. Next weekend, hopefully, if this thing's ready, like I said, I'm gonna be pulling all this stuff out of the garage. So everything's gotta go. Everything's coming out, everything's getting clean, the floor's getting washed, walls are getting washed. Everything's gonna be clean. All right, guys, so most of the body is block sanded. I stopped recording a little bit just because the way the rear bumper is, it's hard to get a camera over there and show like all the angles. But I did the rear bumper as well. So rear bumper, hatch, this quarter panel, I did the roof too, the door and that fender. Still got to do the other side, door, quarter, and fender. And the front bumper, side skirts also. And then the whole body will be block sanded down to 120. So before I go, I just wanted to give one more shout out to Matt for the parts and the motivation, you know, saying that he's racing me. That kind of builds my my motivation to get this thing done. So, I mean, we'll see. You know, his is getting close to color. Mine's getting close to color. He's already actually spraying color. He did his hatch, so he's one up on me. But I just wanted to show you guys a quick trick. So when you're dealing with these blocks and you're dealing with this high build primer, stuff kind of sticks. So what I use is this green Scotch-Brite, and you just wipe it off, and it cleans all that stuff off. It's easier than, you know, hitting it on a hard surface or something, or, you know, trying to hit yourself with it. But yeah, that stuff really works real well. Another tool that I kind of wanted to bring up, I guess, you know, 'tis the season to bring it up, but these masks, these ones don't really work as well as the respirator, but I mean, it still works. As you can see, I'm super dusty all over my face, and I'm not breathing that in. But because of the whole coronavirus thing, you can't get these pretty much anywhere. People are buying them all up. So don't be a dick and go buy them all, because I just had to go to like 4 stores to try to find some, and I found 2 at Home Depot. That's it. So yeah, just my little tip to you guys, you know, don't try to capitalize on a infectious disease. But I'm gonna keep working. You guys, if you guys have a project and you kind of want to share it, go ahead and put a link in the comments in my videos, or send me a PM or something on Instagram. You know, do whatever you can, and I'll watch it. I mean, I love watching builds. If I'm not in here, I'm watching somebody else's build. So yeah, go ahead and share it. If you're not filming it, I highly encourage it. One, if you're like me and you forget kind of a lot of times what you still have to do and stuff, it helps, you know, me recording all the high and low spots. Now I remember where those are at. So, and it also kind of, I hate to say it, but it improves your workmanship when you know that, you know, a bunch of people are watching it. And I'm not saying I have a bunch of people, you know, I'm close to 200 subscribers, which is awesome. And then, you know, the first video is like close to 1,000 views, But yeah, you really start to pay more attention because you're like, oh crap, people are gonna watch this, people are gonna judge me. So, you know, go work on something, like Matt always says, go work on something. So yeah, start posting up your stuff, leave comments and everything. I read every comment that comes through. I try to reply to every comment that's made. I know Jamal L, big shout out to you. You've commented on pretty much every video. I think every video that I've posted out, you've commented on. So yeah, big shout out to him. If I ever start making hats and shirts and all that other crap, consider yourself a winner of that stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna leave the video here. I'm gonna keep working. You guys go work on some stuff, and we'll see you on the next episode for some color.